The attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is obligatory upon a Muslim in regards to the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? To believe in what that the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are pre-existent, pre-eternal, without a beginning, and that He's one in His attributes, that He's alone and singular in His attributes, and no one resembles Him in His attributes, and He's distinct from the creation. So we do not project on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the attributes of creation, nor Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attributes can be projected onto any of the creation. So both ways. So we don't, for example, sleep is an attribute of a human being or other creation. This cannot be projected. This is not an attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a deficiency, and it's only in the creation. Allah doesn't have. So we cannot project that onto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nor Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attribute, for example, of all seeing or all knowing, can be attributed to any creation, no matter how, whoever they may be or whatever they may be. Jibreel alayhi salam, the Prophets alayhi salam. So there's attributes of Allah that cannot be attributed to so these are His attributes. He's single in this. No one resembles Him in His attributes, and He's distinct from the creation. So one of the attributes covered last time was the attribute of His being one and singular, and then the attribute, another attribute now that we'll cover is the attribute of knowledge. What is obligatory upon the Muslim believing regarding the attribute of ilm, the ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We're not talking about the ilm of creation or human beings, right? It is obligatory upon the Muslims to believe that He subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is Allah, is knowing with His knowledge. He is the one in His attribute of knowledge, pre-existent, pre-eternal, without a beginning, everlasting, without an end. So Allah is all-knowing without in that attribute, without a beginning. And He's for everlasting in that attribute, without an end. And His ilm encompasses everything that is known and doesn't resemble the knowledge of created beings. The evidence for this is in the Quran itself, obviously. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Taha, يَعْلُمْ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفُهُمْ وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِهِ عِلْمًا. He, Allah, knows what is presently before them and what will be after them, but they do not encompass in knowledge. Allah in Surah Mulk, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَهُ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. Does He who created not know, while He is subtle and aware? And also in Surah Taghabun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَعْلَمُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَيَعْلَمُ مَا تُسِرُّونَ وَمَا تُعْلِنُونَ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. He knows all that is in the heavens and the earth, and He knows whatever you conceal and whatever you reveal. Allah is fully aware of what lies in the hearts. So this is attribute of knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like I said before, it doesn't resemble the attribute of any of the creation. The knowledge of creation is either something that Allah makes someone, so for example, born with certain understandings we're born with, right? Hot and cold, and certain things that our senses acquire over time, and things that we learn and acquire. Allah's knowledge is not acquired. He's all-knowing. He knows everything to be known about everything without exception. Nothing's outside the knowledge of Allah. His ilm encompasses everything, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And His ilm doesn't increase in the sense that before He doesn't know, now He knows, and then or decreases. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the all-knowing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and tawfiq.